5 seconds. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Balls, Sticks, and Fists. It's your favorite show without an intro. I'm your host, Keaton, joined by my co-host, Sam, on this Tuesday, October 15th. Wrapping up the college football weekend, that was. Sam, how you doing today?
Good. Great week of games, I guess. I mean, not the outcomes we wanted at all.
Yeah.
In really, any of the games.
Yeah. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, I apologize. These lights are going to be flickering the whole episode. It drives me freaking insane. But that's what we're dealing with here. So, yeah, let's kind of get into, we'll just go through the games. Noon slate into the 3:30 and then into the night slate. My gambling streak is over. I got absolutely railed. It seems like every single game came down to like a play or two that if it goes the other way, then you're on the other side of a good weekend.
Yeah. And I didn't even have the Ohio State spread. I had the money line boosted with the boost.
Yeah, I also had that too.
I don't know what he was thinking when he just ran and slid down.
We'll get to that. We're not getting to that yet. We're gonna stay on topic. My parlay lost not only once but twice because I lost it on the Friday night UNLV game, and then I ended up doubling down, so I increased the bet size, and it lost again. So it was just a terrible weekend. But all right, let's get into the noon games. So we had South Carolina at Alabama. I mean, this Roll Tide team is.
Yeah, I don't think they're very good at all. But then again, who really is this year in college football other than I guess maybe Texas? But
I think Ohio State has the most potential if they didn't
put it together.
If they didn't run a dumb defensive scheme. But hey, we'll get into that in a little bit. So 27 Alabama, 25 South Carolina. Zellers goes for 238 in the air. Rocket Sanders 78. There's so many holes on this Bama team. Ryan Williams in check for 38 receiving yards, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, he really wasn't like going off until that Georgia game.
Yeah. I mean, he had to play here and there.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, yeah. I think this Bama team's good. And I feel like a coward for not taking South Carolina and taking Bama. Because preseason, I was all about South Carolina, and then I take Bama minus fucking I have a stroke with these fucking lights, dude. Bama minus 20.5. I just thought it was a get-back game for Bama, and I think this is just a Bama team that we're going to get, and I don't think they're going to improve. They're a young team on defense in the secondary, and that's it's just going to be what it is.
It just seems like there's no get-back games this year.
Yeah, but all right. So looking ahead at their schedule, they're at Tennessee this week. They have Missouri at home, and then at LSU, Mercer, at Oklahoma versus Auburn.
I mean, they don't have else other than next week. Their schedule's pretty fair.
I mean, at LSU is gonna be tough.
Yeah. But I don't think LSU's world beaters.
Dude, I have no idea why these lights are being like this, bro. Yeah, but they have the offense to really challenge Alabama's secondary.
Yeah.
But their defense, on the other hand, might let up 1 million points, but I think their offense can go score for score. I mean, Newsheimer,
I mean, he was what, 22 of 50 or something?
In the first half, it wasn't pretty at all.
No.
and then turn like I think they went like punt, fumble, interception. Like it was like a terrible like first couple of, like drives for them, or it was like a drive sequence that was terrible. But like whenever they get it rolling, they're nice. But it's just getting in that rhythm.
Yeah, it's so weird nowadays that like LSU's offense is so high powered and their defense isn't very good. When like
Bro, you're telling me Ohio
a
State
few years ago it was just a complete opposite.
Ohio State used to have lockdown secondary, silver bullets flying around that linebacker, the rushman up front. Now we got fucking sitting in a one-man rush with 3 defensive linemen dropping back in coverage on 3rd and 9. Like that's what we're doing now. But hey, whatever. We'll get in that in a little bit. But yeah, Alabama back in the win column. They have Tennessee this week, which let's just segue right into it. Florida at Tennessee. I mean, dude, this Tennessee team's like not clicking at all. I thought they were world beaters a couple weeks ago. I thought people were claiming Nico as the Heisman. I thought like shit, we shouldn't have played the season. Like Knoxville, Tennessee, they're going wild down there. No.
Yeah, I mean, after the Oklahoma game, I think I kind of like they're not as great.
I mean, dude,
just because they only won by like 10, but it was like Oklahoma was giving them every chance to just blow them out.
23-17 overtime victory. Florida misses the field goal in overtime, and then Tennessee kind of just stampeded into the end zone.
I mean, after that, you knew that the game was pretty.
Yeah, the game was wraps. But I don't know what to make of them. There's a couple of these teams where we're going into week 7 right now, right? Or week 8?
I think it's week 8.
Week 8. And with only 4 more games left in the season, and I still don't know about some of these teams. Like
I think just how college football is going to be now with like the transfer portal, it kind of just evened everything out.
Yeah, but it's like Tennessee's like beating the dog breaks off teams, and then all of a sudden their offense can't even score more than 17 points in regulation.
Yeah. I don't understand it.
Graham Mertz out for the season with a knee injury as well, so we're going to see DJ Lagway. I mean, DJ Lagway threw a bad pick there. Just didn't see the guy. Misread the coverage and threw into his zone or whatever he did.
I also don't think Florida's as bad as what we think.
Hold on. This is a very interesting thing. Is Billy Napier buying himself another year?
Yeah, he might be, dude.
I think
he's not even really winning.
I think he has another year. I think what they're going to do is they might restructure his contract and bring the buyout number lower. So if he's open to that, but I could most definitely see where Billy Napier is still the head coach next year.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's still Florida. Like they're still looking for that guy.
I know, but
they want to be a national championship contender.
He needs to get his friends out of the jobs he put them in. He brought like a bunch of his Sunbelt buddies over and for coordinators.
That's also part of the problem. You can't fire them because they're those are his guys.
Yeah, I know.
If you fire him, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see how the rest of the season plays out with Florida, but because they're entering this gauntlet coming up now, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Tennessee was the first of it.
So they have Tennessee, and then they have Kentucky, which, okay, let's just remove them, okay, Kentucky. Georgia, at Texas, versus LSU, Ole Miss at Florida State. I mean, so they're 3-3 right now. I mean, what do you think gets it done for Billy Napier to stay the head coach?
Maybe,
splitting those games, 6-6.
Yeah, you get one of those big wins, and it's towards the end. You're kind of safe.
I say if he beats Kentucky beats one of Georgia, Texas, LSU, Ole Miss, like one of those ones, and then beats Florida State. I think he has
sitting at 6 wins.
6 wins. I think 6 wins gets it done.
Maybe just because his contract's so large.
Yeah, I think it's like an $18 to $20 million buyout or something like that. Which that's just his, like, that doesn't include like coordinators, and I don't know how those contracts are structured and shit, but
yeah. I mean, at least it was a good. I wasn't expecting that to be like a really good game though.
Dude, and Florida had a lot of opportunities in the first half.
Yeah.
They had too many men on the field for a field goal attempt before half that would have made it 6-0 going into half. I don't know how you have too many men on the field for a field goal attempt.
For a field goal, yeah, I don't know.
Like you know, imagine like being lined up and like then you're like, huh, that's weird. Like we're extra long on the left side. Like,
yeah. Or, like call timeout.
Yeah, and like that's bad on the holder too. The holder counts that shit up.
Yeah.
So I don't know how. And then they had another miscue too on. They got like stuffed on the 4th and 1 also, I believe. They had a couple miscues in the first half, but that kind of seems to be the MO against this Tennessee team. Like these teams in the first half have all these opportunities and they're not capitalized on. Arkansas a week ago, and then Florida had a shit ton of opportunities, and they only went up 3-0. 3-0 going into half.
Oklahoma was like kind of still in the game, but not in the game. You know what I mean?
The thing about Oklahoma is they can't score a touchdown.
No.
They can't even put a touchdown on the board. I don't even think they have a single player over 200 yards total in any category. Like total, not like we're talking about total yards, like for like a receiver running. Like I don't think any like.
I wasn't really able to watch that game, obviously, but kind of just felt like Texas dominated.
Here we'll get into let's segue into Texas versus Oklahoma. Texas started off slow. Quinn threw a pick early. Literally had a guy wide open in the middle of the field and just sailed it over his head. A little rusty. They started off real slow, and then they kind of picked it up with the run game. The run game then opened up other stuff.
They could just him being rusty because he hasn't played in that.
Yeah. I think he was rusty for just not being on the field for a minute. But hey, Texas is a good squad. I mean, Sarkisian brought out the double pass not once but twice. I mean, the first time it looked like the running back never threw a ball in his life, or the receiver, whoever threw it. It looked like, and then they went back to it and scored. Tight end made a great catch. I mean, the TV setup I have here right now is not the best. I mean, I have all the TVs. It's just the way I have them.
Yeah.
It's just the way I have them set up, that they're literally all in a freaking direct line. So, like, if I'm set up, then I have to look at, like, the TV all the way that way. So, like, sometimes I miss some of the stuff. But yeah, Texas is definitely, I think, the most complete team from top to bottom right now. At least what they've shown. I think they're deserving of the number 1 spot.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see this week. This is their first, like, real game.
Yeah, true. But I love Texas this week. But it's like, is Kirby gonna get? But I don't know. Well,
yeah, I've no
we're not going to talk about that right now. But Texas is a solid squad, definitely number 1 team in the country from top to bottom. They put together complete games, and yeah. Again,
I guess the win at Michigan's like a good win. The way they did win.
Yeah, that's a solid win. I mean, what about Washington beating Michigan and then getting the brakes blown off them by Iowa?
Yeah, that was kind of weird. I was not expecting that at all.
Like, absolutely, just the brakes blown out. Iowa put up 40 points on you is just insane.
Their offense has some really weird, like, good games.
Yeah, like, I mean, according to ESPN, fucking Ohio State beating Iowa 35-7 should have felt like a loss, but
yeah.
Let's get into a game that you were at. Penn State it was minus 4.5 at USC. Well, it finished 3.5, but I got 4.5. Talk me through the game.
I mean, at the end of the first half, I was like, "What the hell? Like, this is just such a James Franklin game."
Yeah.
But it almost felt like once they came out the second half, like the first half was kind of like we're playing on the West Coast, like slow start, like they were not in the game at all.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the defense kind of really saved them, even though it looks like they gave up a lot of points. I mean, Drew threw 2 picks and they had the ball within like the 30. And they got a total of like 6 points out of that.
Yeah, and then, yep.
I don't know though. Maybe this is the game. Drew Lar just steps up, man. Like that.
The only thing is,
so clutch.
The only thing is, I mean, shout out to Julian Fleming. I've been supporting from the jump, and he came up with 2 big fourth down catches.
The one contested one when Drew was running around, that was a great catch.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, where's he? That's why I've been asking where's he been. Like where's he been? Disappears downs 1 through 3, but he'll be there down 4. Tyler Warren went for 200.
17 catches.
My question is, like, who's the guy to step up in the receiving game whenever
Warren's covered?
Yeah.
I still think it's going to be Harrison Wallace. I mean, he had a couple of big catches, but, I mean, Warren was the dude all day.
It kind of just seems like the receivers is just, like, there's not, like, a guy in the receiver room. It's kind of like...
Yeah, there's not...
It's just like it's just a collective group.
I think it's more just schematic.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I was real surprised about how we couldn't really run the ball.
Yeah.
I guess USD just kind of sold out to stop the run.
Yeah, honestly, dude, I don't even know what like I said, I got hit with the massive headache, so, like, I don't even know. I don't even remember what I was watching. I watched the game.
3:30. It was that in Texas.
In Pitt. Yeah, it was. I mean, dude, what am I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Just talk about the game for a little bit.
I mean, yeah, like going into the second half after they scored. I think that it was wasn't the double pass first, but Drew hit a couple nice passes and then got the offense kick started for the rest of the game. And then they just kind of rolled, like, on offense. I mean, there was just such a big lead at half that, like, you couldn't really put it away.
Yeah, that was a big stop in overtime.
Yeah, and he missed the field goal. I mean,
pulled it.
Yeah,
he was pretty. I mean, field goal kicking was good all game.
And it was like 55% Penn State fans there. I don't know if you could tell, like, watching it.
I don't know, dude. It seemed like a whole lot of red.
Yeah, because the seats were red.
See how much red was in Eugene? It was a good amount.
No, I didn't really pay attention to the crowd.
It was a good
Probably,
amount.
like, none.
What do you mean none, bro? There was a good amount of red in them stands. And I'm not trolling. I'm not even trolling.
Yeah, I know. People were saying that, or I think Josh Pate said that it's the loudest stadium in the Big Ten.
Yeah, well, Josh Pate needs to, like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. Cal at Pitt -3. I mean, brutal non-cover here. Pitt decided they weren't going to play offense in, like, the second half at all. Defense came
that was
up.
another game we just lost by, like, I don't know how they make the lines that sharp, but
Yeah, that's crazy how sharp Vegas was this weekend. I mean, I just got nailed on, like, the hook and, like, just bad beats the whole weekend. Well, sorta, not really. I mean, I
I mean, like a couple of the big ones didn't hit because everything was pretty much close on Saturday.
yeah, a lot of close games. I mean, the wagon of the year is Clemson without a doubt.
Yeah, I know. You texted me in the first quarter like, oh, I think this is the game.
I at first I thought it was because like Clemson started off slow. Wake went down and scored, like just mossed the Clemson defender. I was like, oh man, this might be. But then I remember, dude, Dabo like literally owns Wake Forest. Like he's the mayor of Wake Forest. And like the weird thing about Wake Forest that I learned about while I've lived in North Carolina. So there's a town called Wake Forest. All right. The University of Wake Forest is not in Wake Forest.
Really?
Yeah, so it's about like an hour away from Wake Forest. Like it is not in Wake Forest at all.
It's pretty weird.
It's in like Winston-Salem or something like that. Like
that I'm pretty sure that is where.
It is not. I was like, oh, dude, Wake Forest is like 30 minutes down the road. Fucking go to Wake, you know. Yeah, no. University of Wake Forest is not in the actual city or town of Wake Forest. So a little tidbit fact of the day. You learn something new every day. So yeah, Pitt. I mean, this offense, man. Sometimes when it doesn't click, man, it's rough.
It looks rough because they go so fast. So like if you're getting a 3-and-out, that's like 10 seconds.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I do not like Cade Bell's run scheme, bro. It's like something that's like, it's like too long developing. It's like weird. I don't like it that much. Like there's certain run plays on, but like some of his run schemes, it's like, dude, the defensive line's like in the backfield before the ball's even like handed off. I know that's up front. Yeah. I know it's up front too, but like you got like kind of like, I don't know, scheme wise, kind of recognize like
not. If they're not playing good, like do more quick hitters.
Yeah, it's just like a slow developing run sometimes. And I mean, dude, Pitt's running back by committee. I mean, it's a deep running back room.
How many carries did Hammond have this time?
Not that much. I think I don't even think he might have got one carry. He didn't see the
one carry for 1 yard.
Yeah, he did not. I don't even think he had that many snaps, to be honest. But I felt like the offense wasn't even on the field in the second half that much, if I'm being honest. I mean, Holstein threw like 2 picks. Should have thrown like 8. Like every single ball that he threw could have been like intercepted. It felt like, especially the ones like he was throwing late over the middle. And like you could just see where his helmet was, like where he was like staring. He was just like staring it down, and those linebackers were just feasting, dude.
I guess that ends like the Heisman conversation.
I mean, one bad game. I mean, say he goes out against Clemson and like.
Yeah, I mean that should be a really good game.
Dude, it's gonna be cold, man. I bought tickets for the game. And
when is that? Late November?
November like 16th. So in 4 weeks. That's gonna be a little cold game. I was outside today for a little bit and I had to go get a jacket. I was like, it's a little cold.
I don't know who that favors more though.
Well, this is what's going to be interesting because Pitts doesn't have that like ground and pound offense that they usually, you know. So like
I'm cold weather offense.
I'm really interested to see how this offense moves in the cold.
And with that loss, it's Kyle's 0-3 in conference play.
Yeah, I mean, and they've been in every single conference game. Like they could have easily been 3-0 in conference play. Like it got to a point where I thought Kyle was going to win the game. I mean, Kyle's kicker had a chance to go ahead, and his plant foot slid on him a little bit on that Acrisure turf, and dude, that ball, dude.
How far was it?
It was only a 40-yard field goal, if that. Yeah. And this ball went like this. It like barely made it over the line of scrimmage, and it was funny. It was too funny. But Pitt's got a tough stretch coming up. Their schedule is not anything to play with, if I'm being completely honest.
Syracuse, SMU, Virginia, Clemson.
So they have a bye week this week, and then they're Syracuse on a Thursday.
That's a good place to have a bye though before you play on like a
Yeah.
Thursday.
It's weird though. They went. They had a bye week last week. Game bye week.
Yeah, that is weird.
I think the ACC might have implemented something this year with the Thursday games of not having them on short weeks or something like that.
That's probably better, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, is Syracuse on a bye too?
Oh yeah. I guess let's see. Let's see if what I'm saying is correct info here. Yeah, they're on a bye also.
No. They do have like more like Thursday games than like all the other conferences.
Yeah, I mean, so Thursday night game against Syracuse. I mean, I'll put money down right now. I guarantee you it's raining. I guarantee you that game is a rain game. I'll put it down right now.
That's at Pitt.
At Pitt on a Thursday night. Basically, every single Pitt game on a Thursday night that I remember, it's been raining. Like
Well, right now it says it's gonna be sunny.
I never claimed to
See
be.
that? That's
I-
a long forecast.
Yeah, hey, I never claimed to be a weatherman. But yeah, Pitt's got a tough stretch. Syracuse at SMU. Could we see game day heading to Dallas, Texas for Pitt at SMU? Could we see that?
That's on the second.
Yeah, Ohio State at Penn State also happens to be that day.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be game day because it's on Fox.
Yeah, but you don't know that though. They were in Eugene for an NBC game.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, dude, it's probably most likely gonna be 2v first 3 unless.
Has that ever happened?
What?
Like they go to the same place that Fox is?
I felt like I've seen it before. I felt like whenever Ohio State and Michigan played last year.
Yeah, I guess, but you really had no other option, like
Yeah,
to be anywhere else.
yeah. I feel like it's happened a couple times, but I mean, dude, maybe they do go to Dallas for SMU Pitt. Because, dude, I feel like
because they try and spread it around too.
I
to
feel
a
like game
degree.
day's better whenever they like go to different places, like
Yeah,
the
'cause,
places that haven't experienced it. Like, dude,
Like,
game day's
Penn
been
State is gonna be like lit no matter what. Like if you go to SMU for, you know what I mean?
yeah. You saw what it meant to Cal,
Yeah.
and like you know, it's
I don't
just
think it means as much going to the bigger schools.
it doesn't. Like Ohio State's had game day like what, like 30 something times. Like Ohio State's had game day the most out of like every single school. You know, as the first school they went to, and it's like it's got to be it is the most visited. But yeah, it's just different. Ole Miss dropping another one at LSU. Jackson Dart thinking he's Anakin Skywalker at his post game press conference with the black hood on. We just got one out. That's it. And then lifts his head like, bro wants the edit to be made so bad if they win out.
I mean, like with the way Georgia's looking though, they have a favorable schedule to win out.
I mean, yeah, they could win out. It's just
Oklahoma, Arkansas, then at home against Georgia, Florida, Mississippi State.
It's just how does this Ole Miss team translate to top comp?
Yeah, I don't know. Like it seems like every like good team they play, they just don't win.
Yeah, and that's the MO on. That's like the MO on them.
Yeah.
But I mean, LSU. I think LSU's the number 8 team in the country. Not in a chance. I can go through the top 25 and probably name you 18 schools that beat LSU. Yeah.
I think 18 is a little much.
Okay, 10. 12. I mean, we'll
Yeah,
do
maybe depending on.
we'll do it right. We'll do it right now. AP top 25.
Is Iowa State like legit then?
Yeah, they're solid. All right. Texas beats them. Oregon beats them. Penn State beats them. Ohio State. All right, so all the teams in front of them, I say, beats them besides Alabama. So that's 6 teams right there. Iowa State beats them. Clemson beats them. Tennessee beats them. Notre Dame doesn't. BYU
Yeah,
doesn't.
you're such a Notre Dame hater.
I mean, Morrison's out for the year. A&M probably beats them.
Yeah, I think A&M's probably maybe the second best team in the SEC.
Kansas State probably beats them. I don't know though. Kansas State's secondary is kind of a liability, but you get the point. Like I don't think LSU's a number 8 team in the country.
I think it also just speaks to how even everything kind of is this year.
Yeah, there's definitely like.
There's a lot of parity throughout the board.
Don't tell Coach JB that. It's not parody, it's just terrible football. Hey, but what do I know? Oh man. Iowa State goes into the coal rush. I mean, dude, I can't believe I put U.S. currency on this WVU team.
Yeah, that was my favorite play of the day. Like, I thought they were going to come out on fire.
I mean, they did march down the field. They did do that. They did do this, but, like, not for 4 quarters. They did for a quarter and a half.
Yeah, I'm just surprised at how the offense was so terrible.
Yeah, Garrett Green's not playing good at all, and Neil Brown wants to throw a bitch fest, like, in the preseason about him not being the preseason All-American or whatever the hell it was, or top 100, whatever ranking system it was. He's not playing like it, dude. I just listened to some WVU fans. They want Nico to get a little shot.
I mean, that is their first loss in conference, so it's really
yeah. They're still in it, but I'm telling you right now, they're not going to win this. I don't see them. Like, they'll beat Arizona, and then they'll be like, "Oh, we're back in it." But Arizona's not good. Kansas State this weekend. Kansas State's going to blow the doors off them. I'm telling you, I don't know, though, the Colorado hangover. But
yeah,
Kansas State's going to run the ball down their throat.
It's another night game in Morgantown, right?
Yeah, and just looking at the forecast, great weather in Morgantown if you want to go enjoy the tailgate, then your team lose. According to Neil Brown, that's why you should keep on coming out. Hey, the weather's nice. The tailgates are fun. So that's why you should come out.
That's such a crazy line to say after a loss.
Hey, and dude, that's the thing. Like, Alvin, he didn't even say it, like, Saturday night. He said that shit, like, yesterday.
I know.
On Monday.
But you could just easily pull it off and say, look, we still have 1 loss in the conference.
Yeah. Instead he's Darwin like, hey, just come out and have a good time. Who cares if we lose on the football field? You know?
Yeah, I've never heard a coach say something like that before.
I mean, dude, talk about like a losing attitude. I mean, let's get into some W things because I know we have some West Virginia listeners here, so I'm sure they'll be glad to hear this. All right, so let's start with this. Neil Brown has made $17 million plus so far from 2019 to 2023. All right, and that'll be $21 million plus by the end of 2024. No, he's never been ranked in an AP poll. Never.
That's crazy.
3-6 against AP top 25 teams. No meaningful bowls. 34-32 overall record. 22-25 conference record. 1-2 against Pitt. And his one win against Pitt is one of Pitt's. Pitt,
yeah.
Literally the worst Pitt team in a very,
They were
very
lucky to get 3 wins.
Yeah, I thought they were going to finish with one, and that one being Wofford. But they somehow they beat Louisville and they beat Boston College. Maybe I think was their other one.
I can't remember, but I remember the Louisville.
But I mean, the thing about I was doing some research and I think Ren Baker, the AD, is going to stick with Neal after this season. Obviously, like, there's a lot of season to be played, and, like, all right, say WVU hypothetically goes on a run, obviously, but hypothetically, that's not going to happen, most likely. But I just watched.
It's like not that bad though. Like,
yeah, but dude, you gotta watch this. You gotta watch this football team, dude.
like even if you lose to Kansas State, that puts you at four losses on the year. You can easily run the table with the remaining schedule.
Dude, have you followed Texas Tech lately?
No, are they on the heater?
Dude, just click on Texas Tech's thing. I might have found a new team. You remember when Carter bet North Texas? That started Texas Tech's run, dude.
They're all like close games though.
Dude, but they're winning though. You know?
Yeah.
Arizona State, that's a good win.
Yeah, looking at it now, it is a good win.
You know? And they have a generational true freshman receiver that's only played like 35 snaps for some reason. So, like, hopefully they could get him involved. Because, like, he was on the level of, like, the Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams, and then I forget his name. But
Yeah, okay.
that was that. Yeah, Texas Tech's not going to be an easy out for anyone in the Big 12.
Yeah, I mean, the Big 12's still so wide open. I mean, Iowa State's probably penciled in now, but
I wouldn't say they got to
not
play
penciled in, but you know what I mean? Like, they're definitely the odds-on favorite.
I mean, and if I'm being honest, they do kind of have a favorable schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, just looking at their schedule, the only toss-up that I see is Kansas State.
Is it at Kansas State?
No, it's home. It's in Ames.
Yeah, so
I
I don't know. That game's a toss-up anyways, though, no matter where it's played, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's definitely the most unpredictable. I mean, we knew that coming in, but, like, some of these games you really just don't know what team's going to show up.
Yeah, you don't know if it's going to be, like, the garbage team or the other thing. So there's another Neal Brown thing I wanted to pull up. I don't know if I bookmarked it though. I didn't bookmark it, but basically there's only 4 teams that haven't been ranked in the AP top 25 in like 3 or 4 years. And it's Rutgers, Texas Tech, I forget the third team, dude. And then it's like West Virginia.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, you can't even slip to like 25.
Neal Brown, man.
Is Pitt finally ranked this week?
Yeah, they were ranked last week. They were 22nd.
Okay.
Now they're 20th, I think. I mean, it's whatever. They'll live at the bottom of the AP top 25, I guess. Just 6-0. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know what else more you want. All right, while we're on the terms of the rankings, this is the first week where none of Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, Ohio State, or Michigan are ranked in the top 3 since November 9th, 2019. I mean, 2014. Jeez. 2014. So, yeah. And the top 3 in that week 12 of the 2014 season was Mississippi State, Florida State, Oregon.
And was that Dak, I'm guessing?
Yes, sir. What a time that was. I'm sure Brian.
They ended up losing to Bama, right?
Yeah.
Like blown out, or not blown out, but close game.
So I wonder what Walker was like. Brandon Walker was like during that.
He was probably going nuts.
Let's get into Kansas State at Colorado.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I only watched like the first quarter or so. Then I fell asleep, and I didn't go back.
Kansas State looked great early on, and then I fell asleep. And
The consensus I got though from doing my research was Kansas State ran the hell out of the ball.
as expected, yeah.
Shador was responsible for 5 of the sacks, basically by just not getting the ball out or stepping up into a sack. Shiloh played his worst game ever. I think he had 9.
I saw that Dion said that he sucked.
Yep, I think he had 9 missed tackles, and like I'm talking about bad missed tackles,
like open field, like
like getting broken, like type tackles, terrible for him. They probably should have like pulled him. Honestly, dude was just a liability out there.
Especially with the team that keeps running the ball and you're coming down as a safety and just whiffing.
Yeah. Travis Hunter hurt in like the first quarter, I think that was first or second quarter.
Yeah, they said he's gonna be okay, right?
Yeah, I don't know it's in his shoulder, I think, because that's where the contact was. Horn got hurt also for him. I think they lost another guy on a hip drop tackle.
Well, that's the thing. They can't really like lose players because they don't have like the depth.
Yeah. They rushed for negative 26 yards, I believe. I think that's.
They don't even like try to really establish the run at all.
Well, they did against. They have in like past weeks, like they've tried. I think it was UCF that they really got the run, or one of those games they really got the run game going. But like they don't all like I don't know.
I guess when it's just such a mismatch for you and you can throw the ball.
I guess it's just I think you always have to establish the run.
You got to have a little bit of a run game.
Just look at Ohio State. I mean, Ohio State really, I thought, established the run in the first half against Oregon. And in the second half, I think they only rushed for like 15 yards.
Yeah, most of it was like Travion breaking a couple runs, right?
Dude, that Travion and the first half, dude. First half with like 50 seconds left, 3rd and 1. And he breaks it outside, dude. I'm like, what are you doing? It's just like runs like that just kill me, dude. Let's stay on topic though. Colorado's still in the mix though.
Yeah, I mean, one loss is like you're fine in the Big 12 right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't sweat it. It's just like what's the dom?
I feel like anybody can beat any team in that conference too. So like,
I think it's about who gets hot and who's playing the right football and who shows up on every Saturday. I feel like these Big 12 teams like they like start like sniffing their own Kool-Aid and then the next week they just get like blown out.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's kind of happened to DeVry against Iowa State. Like they ran Oklahoma State the week before and then
then they're having the cool rush or whatever and.
Yeah, now they have Kansas State coming out on a nice Saturday. Go out tailgate. Yeah. All right. Let's peel the Band-Aid off a little bit.
Yeah, there's only one game left.
Ohio State at Oregon. I called this game back in the preseason, so before anyone like starts saying like I told you guys back in August Ohio State was losing this game. Like I told you it, and then I flipped, obviously, with the given information. But I told you back in August they were going to lose the game. They lost the game. It wasn't a bad loss. I mean,
no.
I mean, there's definitely stuff that you take from this game, and you're like, that's not going to change. Because this has been a problem for 3 years. That's not going to change because this has also been a problem for 3 years. So it's like like this team's not going to win anything just based off.
Yeah.
There's been problems that have been like known for years, and they're still the same problems. Um, I don't know what to believe, but supposedly Knowles can't run the scheme he wants to run. Supposedly Knowles wants to run a certain scheme, and he's being handcuffed by Larry Johnson, the defensive line coach, because he wants to run a certain scheme up front. So, I mean, people were calling for Larry Johnson to get fired last year after the defensive line totally disappeared. And once again, they disappeared again this year, obviously, because nothing changed.
At that point, it's just maybe because you have the same players every year, like, and you just keep expecting change.
Well, this is the problem. The defensive line's burn out by the third quarter because Larry Johnson doesn't want to rotate the defensive line. So whenever a team's going up tempo like Oregon was doing, the defensive line was burnt by the third. Not like they were getting pressure in the first, but in the third and the fourth, when you really want to peel your ears back on the pass rush, you're just burnt out because Larry Johnson doesn't want to rotate the D line. So he's like, and I said, did I not say this back in August also about rotating players? Like they never rotate,
especially like receiver.
Yeah, they never rotate players, and it like drives me crazy. It's like we're in this like high school level shit where it's like this guy's been here for this. Like we're gonna play him because he came back.
Yeah.
Denzel Burke came back for his fourth year instead of going to the draft. So instead of playing our freshman All-American corner that's on the bench and got 0 snaps, we're gonna keep Denzel Burke out there who keeps on getting fucking toasted. It's like, dude, sometimes you don't have a good game and that's it. But like, don't keep him in the game. Like you have viable options on the bench that you keep on the bench. Yeah, and that's the most frustrating thing of it. When you have
Ohio State, like you have dudes that are backups. Like
and there's a standard to be held, and I feel like this like in the fucking early 2000s all the way up to 2018. Oh, no, 2019. You had the Rushman up front who wreaked havoc on every single fucking game. You had the Silver Bullets at linebacker who were flying all over the field. And then you had BIA, who's supposed to be best in America. That was the corners in the secondary. So they're living off the past. We're just going to, that's what it seems like. And then
it's also like every year they say they're going to change, and the same thing happens in every big game.
Ryan Day had in his head coaching career. All right, we'll go Clemson in 2019, which was Urban's roster, but
was that like the Okuda game when
a
fumble?
Yeah. Which that defense was probably one of the better defenses I've seen, just from top to like at every single level. There was dudes. Defense line, linebackers. That was one of the best defenses. He had the ball on the 25-yard line to win the game. Lost that.
Yeah, and Olave slipped down.
Yeah, lost that game. All right. Georgia, Peach Bowl 2022, also had the ball on the 30, 32, 33.
When they the shank field, he got in.
He got in field goal range and then
played for 50-yard field goal.
Yep. So he's ran the ball. Lost that game. This game, 22-yard or whatever, 25, whatever it was. This time he passes the ball instead of running the ball like he did in the Georgia game. But then he still finds a way to lose the game. So those are three of the identical situations where the offense has a great minute and a half, 2 minute offense down the field, hurry up offense, and then it just collapsed in the final third of the field. Jim Knowles in his 4 games at Ohio State against top 5 teams, 37.25 points per game allowed, 474 yards per game. Only 1 turnover forced, and a 66% completion rate.
I'm guessing the turnovers against Penn State.
Yeah. Was Penn State T5?
Were they last year?
I don't think they were T5.
I can't remember.
But it's like the same. I don't know who to blame here because Knowles wants to play a certain way, but Larry Johnson's not allowing them. And I feel like that falls on Ryan Day for allowing that horse shit to happen among assistant coaches. Like, we're paying our coordinators like top 3 in the whole country. You know, they're getting like $1 million plus as coordinators. Ryan Day's getting 10 M's.
Yeah, that's crazy. And he hasn't really won anything.
Hasn't won anything. But hey,
I mean, I guess the COVID year you made the national championship, but like,
you want to talk about defensive scheme when freaking Kerry Combs was here? They had, it might have been Pete Warner or the other linebacker that Ohio State had. They had
Borland. Was it Borland?
It was something with a B. But they had him.
I think it was Borland.
Yeah, they had him 1v1. 1v1 matched up with Devontae Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Running in the open field. Like, what are we doing? Like, it's just I just know that the defense isn't going to change, and it hasn't changed, and it's frustrating it's just frustrating because, like, you should be able to get pressure on the quarterback. Like, obviously the secondary is going to get sliced and diced whenever the fucking quarterback's just sitting back there.
Yeah. So on Oregon's side, do you think they just run the table now? Like the rest of the year?
Yeah, probably.
Their 2 toughest games are at home against Illinois and at Michigan.
Yeah. Did you see the 12-man on the field thing?
Yeah, I seen that, but I didn't understand what they were saying about, like.
So it was an intentional penalty.
12 men on the field.
Yeah, just so Matt, whatever. And it's not a dead ball foul. So 1, you get the matchup advantage of not letting up a play, and 2, the time runs off, and then you only give up 5 yards.
Yeah.
So it's like worth the trade-off. I think it should, like, when you break a huddle on offense with 12, it's that's a dead ball foul.
Yeah,
no?
they usually just. Yeah, I think they usually just throw it then.
Yeah, so why when you have 12 men in a formation on defense it's not a dead ball foul? Because they're looking to patch that like mid-season, that rule.
I mean, you probably have to now. Because teams see that, and other teams will be like, "Oh, we can do that."
And then you got Ryan Day, like, fucking on the sideline, like, not realizing, like, the clock's still going. Like, he's like, I'm like, dude, like, this wasn't, like, what are you, like, jumping up and down? It's just, like, him being lost, dude. It's like, he hasn't slept in fucking 4 years, and he's still, like, it's the same old shit. You have Ohio Stadium, which they need to renovate. It's like a total, like, the video board you can't see, it's just a total shit show. Like, we're so, like, stuck in, like, it just sucks, dude. They're so stuck in, like, the past, and they're not, like, they're not innovating. Like, I don't ever know how to, like, put it. It's like,
yeah, I mean, they really just do say we're going to change every year and don't change anything and just expect it to change.
Don't change anything. Like, the facilities that Ohio State has, like, their indoors, like, needs renovated. Like, they're just getting, like, lapped, dude. They don't have the best anything. And when they should. Like, they have all the resources, like, it's just, like, what's going on in Columbus? And if Ryan Day doesn't beat Michigan this year.
What if he doesn't beat Penn State?
Well, yeah, let's get in that. So, like, all these Penn State fans are just assuming Ohio State's going to beat Penn State. It's like, I don't know about that. Like, dude, like Penn. This is what I don't understand about Penn State fans. Like, Penn State fans are like, they're set on just a home playoff game. Like,
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
people who are like, I'm booking my flight and stuff to come back to town for the weekend of the first round of the like, they're just like sold on like Auburn winning the Big Ten and just having a first round playoff game.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you really have to just win one game if you really look at it like that.
yeah, it's just a weird mindset that Penn State fans are in. Like, I don't think they realize that they have a chance to just like run the
Win the
table.
Big Ten.
Yeah, and be like, a first round bye.
And I'd much rather play Oregon in the game than Ohio State.
I don't think I still don't think Oregon's that like it's like, all right, what's one thing while watching Dylan Gabriel that you can't do? You can't give him fucking time. Like,
Yeah.
if you give him time, he's gonna slice and dice you. Like, you gotta get him
and he can move too, so like
yeah, you gotta
you
get
can buy
him.
time.
You gotta send pressure at him. Like, and I still can't believe with my own eyes I saw literally basically every single defense. All right, I saw the two defensive ends for sure drop back in coverage on a 3rd and 9, bro. I saw Jack Sawyer and fucking Caden Curry in coverage and only rushing 2.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Whatever. Taking a look at the AP though, the Big Ten, 1, 2, 3 teams in the top 5. So far,
SEC's the other two.
who do you think's the best conference right now?
I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess you could just say the SEC because they're like they have more of them. You know what I mean?
Top to bottom, SEC. Dude,
Yeah.
I don't know though, because I was such a like. I don't know. Iowa gets blown out of the water whenever like teams have skill.
You
Oh,
can put up really score, and you have players on the outside.
yeah. My power rankings go SEC, Big Ten, ACC,
ACC.
Big 12, Mountain West, American.
Yeah.
Dude, all right, let's just get into. There's probably more shit about Ohio State that I wanted to talk about, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's a good loss to have. Like, and what's funny is, dude, the coaches just be avoiding the media, bruh.
Yeah, I haven't seen like one single like
they,
physical press conference or anything.
they be in hiding right now. It's like, dude, Ryan Day's got to get his shit in order. Like, in no way or shape or form should you have a defensive line coach telling the defensive coordinator what scheme to run.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And in no world does the position like the DB coach shouldn't be letting Denzel Burke out there when you have a freshman All-American on the bench. Like, sub him out, dude. Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, no snaps for Matthews is insane, bruh. Like, the snap management's just like an astronomical issue there. Like, you wonder why why Michigan has taken over in the 4th quarter. It's because your team's fucking done by the mid of the 3rd.
Yeah, that's when they start breaking like their long runs and shit.
Yeah, it's like there's a reason for that, and you think they would learn. Like, oh, who would have thought like human beings get tired on the field? Like, I thought we had stamina turned off.
I mean, if they don't watch, like, Michigan just do the same thing.
Yeah, it's whatever. Let's get into the gambling. I mean, rough week. I went 3-6 on my straights. 0 for 2 on 2 identical lays. Terrible weekend. I went from 29.
I don't even know what I was to.
So you won 2.
2.
1, 2, 3, 4,
6.
5, 6. So you went 2-6. So that brings you to 27, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 27, 24, and 1. Would have been nice to have a teaser this weekend for
I mean,
you,
it was just like more like because like we were so close on so many of them.
Yeah, so I'm
Like, it could've been
32.
flipped.
I'm 32 and 19. I mean, that's still solid, but I expect
Yeah.
perfection every single week. And obviously that's not the world of gambling, but I expect to be as close to perfect as you can be. And I just took a total ass whooping this week, and it was bad. Next week I'm definitely coming for blood, though, for those books. I'm coming for my get back. I mean,
Yeah, it's just kind of like a weird slate, dude.
yeah, I know.
Like the 2 big games, I have no idea what to expect.
Oh, I know exactly what to expect from those games already. um, so, going through my card, I had UNLV minus 18.5 at Utah State. I mean, UNLV was up fucking 41-7 at halftime or something like that. I fall asleep at halftime. I remember exactly. I fall asleep, and I wake up to like Petrus this, Petrus that. Next thing you know, it's like it's like a 21-point game, and then Utah State scores for the backdoor cover, which was a brutal way to lose. Petrus or Petrus or whatever you want to call him, he broke the school record for completions. I think he had like 40.
Coming from Iowa.
Yeah, Utah State's defense is pretty bad. And, yeah, that's a brutal beat there. My horse, man. My horse. Clemson minus 20.5 at Wake. Easy money. If I can keep on getting Clemson at 3, right under that 3 touchdown mark against some of these opponents in the ACC, just going to ride them. I'm really interested to see what Clemson-Pitt spread's going to be. It's got to be 10.5.
Yeah, but it's at home too, so
8.5 maybe? 7.5?
yeah, I don't think it's like huge, just because Pitt's at home.
It's just when I see that Clemson-Pitt matchup, I honestly think Clemson's going to score 50 points on that defense.
Probably, and their defense is solid. Where like Pitt has a couple of their like minute 3 and outs, like
Yeah.
gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, that's kind of how I see that game going. Like, Pitt's going to have to put up points, and I don't know if they can put up those type of points against Clemson's defense. But I know Clemson's offense and the way that they're going, I know that they're going to put up points.
It'd be interesting to see the Georgia-Clemson matchup right now.
Dude, Clemson's offense just looks totally different.
Like, rather than the first game of the year.
Yeah.
I know.
Another game that I won, Texas minus 15.5 versus Oklahoma. I mean, I love that game. I knew Oklahoma couldn't score, and I knew Texas could probably get some points on the board, so I love that. My losers, Ohio State minus 3.5 at Oregon, just talked about. Alabama minus 21.5 versus South Carolina, coward play. Pitt minus 3.5 versus Cal, terrible L. Penn State minus 4.5 at USC. West Virginia money line versus Iowa State, and then I need one to go through. LSU came through money line. They lost. I think I only had one leg hit, and that was Clemson. Sam moved to 27,
Yeah,
24,
I
and
think
1.
my only winners were
Only winners were Clemson and
my
LSU.
only winners were LSU and Clemson.
Yep.
Yeah. And all the rest were basically the same as yours.
Yeah. Like I said, I knew it was bad once we were on everything the same, so
Yeah.
maybe we gotta pick different
It
games.
was going to be too easy.
Yeah, we gotta pick some different games, dude. We gotta stay off. We gotta stay off them.
Yeah, I mean, I think we picked like where most of the majority of the public was probably on too. Honestly,
Yeah, which didn't help. I'm gonna be way better this week. I'm putting that on everything this week. Just a quick little look ahead at what we have this upcoming week. We have Georgia at Texas. Georgia at Texas.
Tennessee, Alabama.
Tennessee, Alabama. If you want to if you really want to fall asleep during the 3:30 slate, turn on Michigan at Illinois. Miami at Louisville. Colorado at Arizona is going to be interesting, in my opinion. I think LSU at Arkansas.
It could be a really fun game.
I think LSU at Arkansas is interesting too. Kansas State at West Virginia.
Taylor Green fine?
I don't know yet. But that will be on Thursday's episode. But you got any closing remarks?
No, I mean, hopefully we're way better this week.
Yep, that's going to wrap us up here at your favorite show without an outro. Peace!